Hi guys, my kids decided to be in a video. Yep, sorry, bad parenting. Still got a dum-dum. My bad. Anyway, the purpose of this mini documentary is, I call it a mini documentary because it's quite long, about 26 minutes. I thought it was going to be shorter. So I hope you guys can stay through it all. Is that I'm going to expose the Home Office and their discrimination and racist behaviour that happened in my own immigration case from someone that was born and grown here. Now, for those that don't know me, my name's Ruele. Mama, can you put it down? But for those that don't know me, my name's Ruele, and I'm an actor as well as a mentor, and I work with people, young people and adults when it comes to self-development. Yes, Baba. So what I'm going to do right now is take you through the history of my case. Now, in the next video, if my kids are not there, it's because obviously I filmed them at different times. Anyway, peace. Now, a little history about my case is that in 2007, I went to prison because I committed an offence which was robbery with imitation firearms, and I ended up doing an 8-year sentence, serving 4 years in prison and 6 months in the detention centre. So that was from 2007 to 2012. And in 2010, Home Office came to me and said that they were going to try and deport me. Now, I was shocked because I thought, right, how can I be deported when I'm born and grown here? So I thought if you was born and grown here, and when I mean grown here, I went to school and everything here, that yeah, you're automatically British. But I found that if you were here after 1983, and your parents weren't British at the time you were born in England, then you're not automatically British. And at the time, my mum wasn't a British citizen, she was a Jamaican, and when she got married, she got indefinite leave, blah, blah, blah. So even though I gave them all the paperwork to prove that I was born and grown here, been here my whole life, they still went ahead with the deportation. It took about 3 years for the deportation to finish. So from 2010 to 2013. So I've been out of prison for a year, and I won all my appeals because Home Office kept appealing. And it came down to the fact that, look, I was born and grown here. I've got family here. Deporting me it makes no sense because I've not lived or come from anywhere. I'm not a foreigner. You have to come from somewhere to be sent back there. You can only send me back to the womb. Okay. Now, 2 years after my deportation case had finished, Home Office came back again to try to take my indefinite leave away. So they wanted to take my indefinite leave away and put me on limited leave so they can watch me. Now, bear in mind, I have been out of prison for 3 years. Yeah, and I never committed no offence. I've been doing voluntary work, working with community. I've been working as an actor. I've had a child. I've been doing paid work because I've been making a living and I wasn't claiming no benefits. But they still wanted to come and try to take my indefinite leave away. And through that whole case, my first hearing was in 2016 with Judge Baldwin, AJM Baldwin, okay? 2016 in June the 9th. Now, this judge accepted the fact that I had reformed my life and changed everything around and accepted my appeal and told the Home Office to basically F off. Now, of course the Home Office appealed. So I keep looking at the other camera. Of course, the Home Office appealed, and I ended up going back to court again on November the 10th with a judge called Judge Handbury. Now, this judge, yeah, disallowed my appeal. Basically, the Home Office won, and he done it on decisions and reasons that you can clearly see is from discrimination and racist. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying indirect. I'm saying when I go through the reasons and you compare it to the first judge, the evidence that he said that I didn't have, and this judge said I had the evidence, and the documents that he goes over that's incorrect, and the documents that go over that this judge goes over that is correct, and I prove it all, you can clearly see that this is discrimination and it is racism. And because of that, I lost my appeal, and because I lost my appeal, I lost my indefinite leave, and I'm now being placed on limited leave, meaning I got to apply every 36 every 36 months or 6 months. So the reason why I'm doing this video is to put this out there, because my MP's not helping. They're not trying to fight this injustice. Lawyers and everything is not trying to fight this injustice. So I want to put it out there so everyone can be aware and can see that the shit that really does go on within the system. And I hope that we can do that, and I hope you guys can share this video and help my case and my situation. So guys, I'm going to first show you guys the evidence, and it's going to start with me showing you guys my ID, my birth ID. So here's my provisional license. There you can see, yeah, 15/04/1988 England. And here's my birth certificate, which you can see H. Ruele Leopold Aristotle. I'm also known as H. Ruele Kentucky because my mom's changed name. And here you go, Greenwich, London, Borough of Greenwich. Simple. Now I'm going to show you some evidence to make you think, has the Home Office been wasting taxpayers' money with my deportation case, and in fact with my whole immigration case from the beginning? Okay, so this here is an email from the Jamaican High Commissioner from the Jamaican Embassy in the UK, and it was dated the 30th of June 2016, okay, from Leonie Livingston. Dear Mr. Aristotles, apologies for the delay response, but a search had to be done in regards, well, it doesn't say regards, in the background of your case. Our system shows that you are officially on the deportation list, as I had indicated to you in our conversation. A Jamaican passport cannot be issued unless you have first a Jamaican citizenship. The blue book, she's talking about the passport, the blue book is the Jamaican passport I had when I was younger. The blue coloured one that was issued to you was done during a period when the passport office had stringent, I think, regulations in place as now obtained. In this context, if you need to apply for a Jamaican passport, you would have to submit your mother's birth certificate and support documents to first apply for Jamaican citizenship. So in that email, she doesn't fully say that you are not a citizen, so I had to email her again just to double check that she's saying that I'm not a Jamaican citizen. So here's the second email that was forwarded on to me a month later, because she wasn't replying to me. So a friend that I had that also works closely with her sent the email for me, and this is what she replied. Dear Tanisha, please be advised that he was told that the High Commissioner cannot provide such a letter, because I asked could I get this as a letter format and not just an email, and then they said no. But here it goes. The fact that he has not applied for Jamaican citizenship means he does not have Jamaican citizenship. Please remind him of this fact. Regards, Leonie Livingston. Again, so for those that didn't understand what was just said, basically I had a passport, a Jamaican passport when I was younger. I didn't know that it didn't mean I wasn't British. I just thought I was a cool kid with a Jamaican passport. But back then you could get a Jamaican passport, which was a blue book, and you didn't have to be a citizen of that country. So me not being a citizen of Jamaica means that even during the deportation case that the Home Office had against me to try and deport me, they wouldn't have been able to do it anyway, because I am not a citizen of Jamaica, and that was from the High Commissioner from the Jamaican Embassy in the UK. So the question is now, of course the Home Office must have known this, so are they wasting taxpayers' money? And did they unlawfully detain me for 6 months? Oh, by the way, that makes me stateless, not being British citizen and not being Jamaican citizen. Yeah. So what I'm going to do right now, which is the main purpose of this video, is go through both the hearings and cross-reference the upper tribunal judge, Judge Handbury, and some of his reasons, some of his main reasons on why he disallowed my appeal, which I'm going to prove to you from cross-referencing the first hearing that his reasons are, you can clearly see, are either racist or discrimination, or he lost my paperwork, because what he says does not make sense. But you'll see for yourself. So before we dwell really deep into it, let me just give you a quick background history on both of these hearings. Now, this is the first one that happened on the 9th of the 16th, 2016 with Judge Baldwin. And this guy was on my side because he said that the evidence that I provided, which was a lot of evidence, proved that I had changed my life since coming out of prison. And remember, 2016, I was almost out for 4 years. And now, of course, as normal, Home Office always appeals, so we had to go to court again on the 10th of November 2016, where it's the judge that disallowed my appeal on reasons that I believe to be racist and discriminating. Now, how we're going to prove that is because the reasons that he gave, we're going to cross-examine with the reasons he gave, and you're going to find out that the evidence that he said I didn't provide, this judge did say I did provide. Now, let me make one thing clear. When you hand evidence into court, it always stays in court. It goes from one court to another court. It doesn't come out. So, I don't know. But anyway, let's get into it and let me show you what I'm saying about this judge. Here are the decisions that I've highlighted that are basically the reasons he stated that are strong reasons why I had to lose my appeal. Okay? So, let's look at the first one. The appellant made no significant effort to find suitable employment and therefore he had a financial incentive to further offend. Hear what I'm saying? It says, made no significant effort to find suitable employment and therefore he had a financial incentive to further offend. See, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking and wondering, why did I say offend? Like it starts with an A. Yes, I know, it's offend. Sorry, guys. So you heard what you said, right? That I made no effort of showing suitable employment. What is suitable employment? Because I was acting at that time. I was on the film Legend of Tarzan during around that time. I was working as an acting facilitator for Generation Arts and a mentor for Hackney CVS. When they can't live by themselves, they live by other people's opinions. I don't live by nobody's opinion. So, what do you mean? What is suitable employment? Working a normal 9 to 5? I'm sorry, that's just not me. But let me show you evidence from the first tier judge who went through my evidence and stated it 3 times in his statement about me showing proof of employment. One way he said it went unchallenged, meaning that the Home Office didn't even challenge my evidence. So if we go to page 2, paragraph 6, look, what does that say? The hearing. The appellant indexed bundle included statements, birth certificates, supported letter, and evidence of employment and from probation. But that's just one time. Does he say it anywhere else? Oh, well, we scoot over here. Page 3. There are numerous letters before the tribunal attesting to the good work he has completed both as a volunteer and in paid employment. Does he say it anywhere else? Let's check. Oh, well, hold on. Let's go to page 5. Here it goes. Documented evidence relating to his children, partner, progress on probation and volunteer and paid work has all been provided and went largely unchallenged in the hearing. So I'm sure that was clear evidence. So now when you think about it, what happened with the upper tribunal? Did he lose my paperwork or did he just misregard my paperwork? Because it has to be one of the two. Either he lost my paperwork because the judge mentioned it 3 times from the first tribunal, or he just read it and disregarded it and saw it as it's not suitable. But it went unchallenged, meaning the Home must never challenge it. Okay, so now let's move on to evidence 2 of me showing you and proving about the injustice within the court system, and especially with this judge in regards to my case. Was it racial? Or did he have a discrimination? Or what? You tell me. So for this one, let me read it out. The Secretary of State alleged that the appellant had not supplied evidence of the family life he claimed to have developed with his son. Remember, 2016, yeah? Son. I got 2 kids. But anyway, who had been born, well, meant to say born, not paying attention there, are we, Judge? On the 9th of October 2013. So remember, he said that I showed no evidence of the family ties I claimed to have with my son. Yeah, just with my son, not my partner, or the fact that I had 2 kids at the time. Okay. Also, he mentioned my child's birth date, which was the 9th of October 2013. Now, see, we have a problem here because I don't have no kid born on that day. I have two children, and I had two children at the time of the court. One child is born, my oldest, is born on the 11th of October, 2014. But if he's not talking about that child, let's say he's talking about the other child, which would be 2015, the 13th of December. But I know he was referencing the first one, so how did you get my child's date wrong? But let me show you birth certificates to prove my children's dates of birth. Okay, so here I have both my children's birth certificate, okay? So let's just check them. Remember, the Judge Handbury said that my child was born on the 9th of October 2013. So let's assume he's talking about my older son. It says 11th of October 2014. So that's a year and 2 days off. Here you can see I'm the father. There we go. Cairo is the name of my son. Me, Ace Road, Kentucky, formerly known as Ace Road Aristotle's. There you can see the mum's name. So let's go to the second child, which is Orion, and which is the 13th of December 2015. Father, Ace Road Aristotle's. There you go. Same mum's name, Natasha. So this should prove a bit of family ties, and these are evidence of both my kids, okay? So there you have it. That's my two children's birth certificates, and both of them were born at the time that I was in court. And remember, he's also saying, how do I prove family ties? My partner was also in court at the time of his hearing. And remember, he said that I supplied no evidence. But let me remind you of a statement from the first upper tier judge that said that I provided that evidence and it went unchallenged. Here it goes. Documented evidence relating to his children, partner, progress on probation and volunteer and paid work has all been provided and went largely unchallenged in the hearing. And I'm going to show you evidence that the birth certificates were part of my court bundle. So it was a part of my evidence. He believes that this and the arrival of two children through a stable relationship in which he is now has allowed him to turn his life around. Watch it. Certificates record the birth of these two children and their mother who provided a letter attending the hearing to adopt it. Now I'm going to show you something that really seems strange. So remember, in that same statement, the judge said that I never showed proof of evidence of family ties, yeah? I'm going to show you something in the same statement, so basically the same transcripts from the upper tribunal, of where he mentions that the judge previous to him accepted documented evidence of my family ties and children. Remember, guys, here's the previous one where it says not supplied evidence of family ties, he claimed. But 2 pages back, yes, same transcript, it says the immigration judge, having considered the documentary evidence from the appellant, that's me, and his partner and the appellant's relationships with their children and the welfare of those. So he's basically talking about the acknowledgement that the last judge from the upper tribunal had this documented evidence of my partner and relationship with their children. So further down, he says there was no evidence, but prior to that, it was actually shown that there was some form of evidence that was declared and accepted by the first tier upper tribunal. So did you lose my paperwork or did you misregard it? And the thing is, if he did lose my paperwork, there's no question in that statement. He doesn't ask, well, this judge seems to say that there was evidence there, and he doesn't bring it up to say, well, he didn't receive this evidence, or why is this judge talking about this evidence? No, he goes on to say that there was no evidence. But the first tier tribunal judge stated more than one occasion of the evidence of my children, not one child that he mentioned, children, and the documented evidence of their birth certificates where the upper tribunal got the date wrong anyway. It's all proof there. It's proof there.
Rather than address his offending, the appellant, that's me, had made a number of allegations against the respondent, the Home Office, including allegations of a racist conspiracy against black males. See paragraph 16 on the refusal. This undermined any suggestions that the appellant had come to terms with his offending and was taking steps to ensure it did not occur again.
So basically, my personal statement to the Home Office, which was before the court case, so this was basically in 2015, a year before the whole court case, I had to write a letter to the Home Office explaining why I shouldn't have my limited leave taken away. And in the letter, which I co-wrote with my mum, she added and wanted to add the fact that she believes and that we believe that there's a psychological warfare going on when it comes to destroying black males. Now, I know that's a very deep statement and that's not something you can prove in court, but if we look at the statistics of how many black men are in prison, how many black men get stopped, and the difference in sentencing when a black man commits a crime compared to a white person committing a crime, there is facts and evidence about it. And the reason why I added it to my statement and I accepted it is because I couldn't fathom or understand why the Home Office was on my case. This was 3 years after I'd been out of prison, 2 years after my Deportation Act had finished. And remember, I was born and grown here. And at this time I had the child as well, and also the fact that, remember, not to my awareness, that I wasn't even a Jamaican citizen anyway, so something that they would have known, so they know they couldn't report me. So that's the reason why I also added something like that to my statement. So yes, it was part of my personal letter, but remember, that's my personal letter. What I'm going to show you off is evidence of the upper tribunal judge. No, sorry. I'm going to show you evidence of the first tribunal judge where he said and he mentioned that I had that in my statement, but he also mentions that I did not try to use it as a ground of appeal. So what that basically means is when I had to submit my reasons of why I should win my appeal, I did not put what I put in my personal statements as a part of that argument. So my argument included I had family, I was born and grown here. It did not include, oh, well, I should win it because this is a warfare of destroying black males. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't in my argument, and this is what I'm going to show you that the judge also took acknowledgement to state.
Now, when I go to the first judge, the first tier judge, of course, he also says that yes, he recognized what I said. Look, the response has been advised that the revocation considered was a state that is an amount to a psychological warfare and was a racist and conspiracy to destroy black men. He said that response was a serious accusation, but one can perhaps understand the frustration of a young man who has done such a great deal to turn his life around completely. He has also had the good grace and maturity not to pursue this in his grounds of appeal or at the hearing.
So as you can see from the evidence, the judge said that I did not try to use it for my grounds of appeals or bring it to court and try to use it as part of my evidence on why I should win my case. So how does a judge after him, the upper tribunal, then use that same statement that was in a personal statement that was not in my grounds of appeal and use that to turn around to say that I've not come to terms with my offending and found steps on way of not reoffending? How did he come up with that? How? Do you guys understand exactly what I'm trying to show you here? But I've got one more statement I want to show you where this is not even got to do with the reasons on the decisions. This was basically him summing up what he thought about the previous judge.
So here was what Mr. Handbury, upper tribunal judge, said. No good reasons were given by the immigration judge for rejecting the respondent's case, but a number of wrong and inaccurate reasons were given, such as asking what useful purpose the revocation of IRL, indefinite leave to remain, served. Because the previous judge had said something like this: appellant has done all that could be reasonably be accepted of him, whilst substituting him his IRL for limited leave would not force him to leave the UK or stop work. One is bound to ask what useful purpose it would serve other than to irritate the appellant, cause him stress and put him to additional expense, because it costs money to always pay to renew the limited leave.
When I watch this video back, because I have to keep watching it back to make sure I'm getting everything in that I can, it kind of does upset me, because it's like, right, I'm really going through this situation. But it's life, and you know, life comes with different ways of things happening, and all you got to do is overcome it. So from the last comment, you saw what the judge said, and inaccurate reasons. I don't know how that's possible, because the previous judge said that, you know, the evidence that I gave was unchallenged, which means unchallenged means that the Home Office did not try to challenge any of the evidence that I gave. So when you look at it in that kind of concept, if the judge recognized that my evidence was unchallenged, you know, what do you mean the reasons were inaccurate? And what I'm going to do, let me just show you guys some of the evidence that I did provide at court for my first hearing that the judge at the second hearing claimed I never provided. So this is the bundle of proof. Some of it, I think a majority of it, that I had supplied when I went to my first hearing. So here is my employment ones, but they're also character references. So Generation Arts. Here is for City Hall, as you can see. I used to work at City Hall. Okay. Hackney CVS. Okay. Models of Diversity. This one here is for New Blood. That was the TV drama for BBC I did. There's some qualifications. This is what my drama performance BTEC diploma. Okay, here's me working on EastEnders. Here I've got stuff. Here you go. Deep Blue Production. Tarzan. This is my agent at the time. Personal letter from my partner, personal letter from my friend, personal letter from my friend again, company, personal letter again from my friend. I done a mental health course again. So yeah, I had bundles of proof. Here's one with the charity breast cancer care, you know, and look, a personal letter from my probation officer. So this was some of the bundle of proof that I provided, that he claims that I never showed evidence of work or family ties. So yeah, let me just remind you guys that that was 2016 when I had both my hearings, and obviously that's when the evidence came. So in 2016, remember, I was out for 4 years, almost 4 years, and the point of limited leave is to keep an extra eye on someone, to see what they're doing, to ensure that they're not stepping out of line, and monitor them. And if in 4 years I've been out of prison, I never committed no offence, all the proof was brought to court to say that I've been working. And let me just let you state this, that Home Office has never asked me for evidence of me working and family ties and everything, because they wouldn't. Because if I won my deportation case in 2013, they're not just going to randomly say, hey, you need to send me stuff on what you're doing. No. So obviously 2 years of them making this new claim about taking my indefinite leave, yes, they're going to ask me for stuff, which I provided. So why do you want to put me on limited leave for? I've clearly shown you I've been out for a good amount of time, and all the evidence is there, loads of evidence is there to state I've not been doing anything. And remember, I've been born and grown here, so I don't get what more you guys want me to do. Why do you need to watch me now? And remember, when I make this video now, we're in 2019. So that's basically, how long have I been out of prison for? Basically almost 7 years. Still no offences. Still not caused any trouble. Still working as an actor. Still working as a mentor. And you know what? Let me just show you some of the character references I have received in the last month or two, because I'm taking this because I want to make a new claim. Because they're still trying to put me on limited leave because of course I lost. So now I got to do this biometric thing and go down that route, hoping they'll give me limited leave. But either way, they can't deport me because my deportation case protects me no matter what. But yeah, let me just show you some of the stuff that I have done.
So this is Brent Council. This is a 2017/2018 winter edition. You can still see this online. And they wrote a 2-page spread about me, about how I changed my life beyond the stereotype. Is something that I like to say. And yep, you can see here they wrote a 2-page spread about me. Some more references, like one of the probably the biggest one is this one here from the Metropolitan Police, from Craig Martin. Basically work that I've done with him in regards to working with youth, which is voluntary work at the Old Bailey, presented by HHJ Hillard, the big judge there. Here's again Hackney CVS, because I've been working with them since 2013, so it's just another character reference. Again, I got some more. I got one from a school. So I'm just showing you different ones because I've got loads of references, but this one's from a primary school in northwest London. Here I've got one from an aristocrat named Serena Balfour. So I've done some work with her charity, which is the Us Trust charity. And yeah, another one for Skinner's Academy, where I've done some more work as a mentor working with young black men. And here is my contract with my agent Kerry Dodd. So this is where I've been doing my acting stuff, or my motion capture stuff in video games, and the Bose advert that I was in 2018. And yeah, I've just got quite a lot of references. Here's one from the Sheriff of City of London, she was the Sheriff of the City of London in 2014 and 2015. So yeah.
So there you can clearly see that I've still been keeping up with the work in regards to the youth and helping the community voluntarily and as well as paid. And for me, the biggest one out of them all is the fact that it's from the police, because what that basically shows is that the Home Office is saying that I still need to be watched after I've been out of prison 7 years now, and they're still continuing. That is from your own public sector. That is from the police, the people that are supposed to look after us. And if I can get a character reference from the police that I'm working with, how much more references do you need to see that I've changed my life around? What more do you need to see? But anyway, I forgot to add something to the video, which is the law that the Home Office used to revoke my indefinite leave. I should have added it at the beginning, but I'm going to add it now so you guys can get a clearer picture of when I say that the Home Office is harassing me, has been harassing me, and they're wasting taxpayers' money. When the Home Office came to me with this wanting to take away my indefinite leave, they came with an act. They issued the act called Nationality, Immigration, Asylum Act 2002 76-1, which states the Secretary of State may revoke a person's indefinite leave to enter or remain in the UK if the person is liable to deportation but cannot be deported for legal reasons. Now, what they are basically saying in that is that yes, you can revoke someone's indefinite leave. You may revoke someone's indefinite leave if they are liable for deportation but can't be deported. Now, it's not mandatory. Okay? Now, what the problem is with that is when I received the letter from the Home Office, it stated will revoke, not may. Now, I don't have that letter anymore because it's part of my bundle that I gave to my new solicitor. But the judge himself mentions the fact that how come in the letter that I received from the Home Office it says will revoked. Now I'm going to show you the law itself, which I've put up on the internet, so you can see that it says may.
So this is the law and acts that the Home Office came to me with when they wanted to take my indefinite leave, or a National Immigration and Asylum Act 2002. And here we go. The revocation of leave to enter or remain. The Secretary of State may revoke a person's indefinite leave to enter or remain in the United Kingdom if a person is liable to deportation but cannot be deported for legal reasons. So you heard that the law, it says, is may, okay? But somehow when I received the letter from the Home Office, it says will be revoked. So here we go. This is from the Judge Baldwin, the first hearing. It would appear from paragraph 4 of the revocation letter for that the decision maker may have misunderstood the statutory power, because she states that, this is the Home Office, that S76 of Nationality Immigration 2002 records the words will be revoked rather than the words may be revoked in the statute.
It's mad because if they just basically copied it from wherever they copy their stuff from and put it on paper, that means someone actually edited out may and put will there. Because what I just referenced from the computers from the actual Gov website. So someone actually edited and put will. But anyway, something that I want you also guys to think about is the fact that if they issued me this in I'm going to show you here, it says the appellant's leave was revoked on the 27th 1st of 2015, and I won my deportation case on the, here it goes, he appealed successfully on the 27th of the 2nd 2012, and obviously the Home Office appealed and it went to 2013 February. Yeah, if it was at discretion, why did they take 2 years after to hit me with this act? Why did they not hit me with that act straight after I lost my deportation case? Just think about it. Why did they not issue me this act straight after my deportation case? It even says it here. Okay, where does it say? Given all the circumstances, his deportation appeal was allowed in February 2012. Remember, like I said, the Home Office appealed, so it went on to 2013 February. But either way, given all the circumstances, his deportation appeal was allowed in February 2012, but the application of the act that I just mentioned, S76, was not considered for a further 18 months, and no decision was made until January 2015. Why did they take so long to issue me that? And the only thing I can think of is in the time between my deportation act had finished to when this came out, when they issued me this, guess what happened? Legal aid stopped, because all before that I was working on legal aid with my deportation case, and between that time legal aid had stopped. So why did they wait so long? Maybe they were waiting for me to mess up and do something stupid, but at the end of the day, if it's at discretion and it's not mandatory, why did you wait so long to issue me with this act? So guys, I hope from this whole video you were able to see all the evidence, the facts that shows that this Judge Handbury is racist. You know, it's not even an ism or schism or if buts, maybe it's about it. And I hope you were also able to see that how the Home Office has been harassing me. You know, the fact that they've been on me for so long and so hard, even though I was born here, even though the Jamaican embassy said I'm not a citizen, even though I've been doing all the good work within the community, even got references from the police. They're still on me. They're still on my case. You see what I'm saying? They could have used me as a good example of someone that's gone through the court system and come out on the other side. But no, what they want to do is attack. And they haven't stopped, because even stuff like this, they send me stuff like saying removal from the UK. And this was in September 2018. And of course they can't remove me, because remember I showed you the act that they issued me with, which is the Asylum Act 2002, that states can't be deported for legal reasons. So they can't deport me anyway on so many grounds, but they still do this. And yeah, it's their procedure, but at the end of the day, you don't need to issue me this if it's the procedure, because you already know my situation. You know, and for me, this is ridiculous. And yes, I went to prison, and because I went to prison, this has all come about. But guess what? You know what? I'm not mad about the Home Office coming to me because of the law. I'm mad about the injustice that I face within my case. So, you know, and I want to be trialed again. Let's go to trial again with a proper judge. You know what I'm saying? No, give me back my indefinite leave. Give me my citizenship. Why should I be paid every 36 months or every 10 years for limited leave? Why should I be paid X amount of money to have stay in the country that I came from? I didn't immigrate or from another country. I'm not a foreigner. You know what I'm saying? I can't go anywhere else. So why should I pay to be in a country where I came from, where I was born in? You see what I'm saying? So I just hope you guys could see the injustice in this video, because there might be many people that's going through the same situation and don't want to talk about it, don't put it out there. So I hope you guys can share it so they can see this video and be inspired to do something. And I hope that people share it, because I want the right person to come and say, you know what, I'll take on your case, Ace. Because most of these lawyers and most of these MPs, they don't want to take on the case because it's injustice. Nobody wants to put in the racism or anything. Everyone wants to hide away, you know, but here is facts. So I know there's somebody out there that would do that, and I hope by you guys sharing it and putting it out there, you know, it will help. And you know what, maybe Home Office might even come to me even more with more aggro just because of this video, but I don't care. So if you hear about anything happening to me about detention center or anything like that, just know it's probably because of this video. But guys, thank you very much for listening. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for going through the video of me. You know what I'm saying? This stuff is affecting not only me, but the people around me. My kids are too young to know about my mom, my partner, her family, my friends. Like, it does have an effect. But I'm strong-minded, and I'm going to see it all the way to the end. So guys, thank you very much. Love and peace.